Hey guys, I'm a bit late, but we have version 20.1 out now, so it's time to go over the patch notes and jump right into it. We have a new hero, Etienne. Grab him now. So this is a French hero. He is a he. For some reason, we'll never get the genders right. But basically, this is a drone hero. He doesn't have any attacks of his own. He flies little drones around. And the biggest pull for this guy is that at level 8 he gives full map camo detection. So this is pretty strong. Only problem is with this, he himself can never pop DDTs. So if you're going around 90 plus, then you're gonna need an MOAB anyway, which kind of sucks. kind of defeats the purpose of this. But if you're not going past level 80 like any other lower tier game mode, then he's actually pretty cool. Since you can just completely skip the village in any lower round game. Worth noting, he does not get Alchemist buffed. It's not currently within the game's coding parameters to allow something with multiple sub-towers to effectively work with Alchemist without being just busted. You never know what might happen in the future, but anyway, that's him. New map, Mesa. Jump in here on Sandbox. This is honestly one of my favorite maps in a while. It looks very similar to Death Valley in BTD6, and chuck this guy down here. And it's actually surprisingly good for Juggernauts. So I don't know, if I throw a few of these down, is top hat balloons there. Juggernauts kind of bounce around kind of interestingly. But that's not too bad. My favorite spots though are like, chuck them there and there maybe. Get some pretty good bounces. If you get them right, they can bounce all the way down the track. It's just a bit of fun there. Compared to this, we also have a new skin, which is quite a good one in my opinion. We have the Red Pirate Brickell. And I do think that this kind of looks like a man, to be honest, but it's not. It is Red Pirate Brickell and female. Grab that. And I don't have it selected, but
Dread Pirate Brickell at your service.
yeah. I have a sample. Got some of my favorite voice lines. I'm just a fan. Let's turn this up.
Treasure. A toast. Treasure. Yo ho! Drinks all around. Drinks all around. Yo ho! I. Orders. What's our heading? Orders. Yo ho! What's our heading?
You keep doing that as if you expect something to happen.
Good work. I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Yep. So I quite enjoy those. Good fun in my opinion. Moving on. So Odyssey, a bunch of stuff added there. Extreme mode. This is a different type of Odyssey. There's been a bit of a mixed reception there, but yeah, it's an Odyssey can either be extreme or not extreme currently. Who knows? We'll see what happens there in the future. Current Odyssey is not an extreme one, and I haven't taken on hard yet because I wanted to try it out with Etienne, and I'm waiting to buy him for the video. But that's that. A couple extra things. Beating in Odyssey now displays stats at the end. We have all maps available in Odyssey now. There is also... yeah. Okay. We added clear buttons. Do that. Reset. Cool. And they're all colored by category now, which is useful for the current Odyssey, since this one where if you check out the maps, they are magic only, primary only, magic, primary restricted there. So yeah, it's quite useful to the actual categories they belong. you're not memorized on that already. Here is a replay feature for Odysseys. You want to do them again after you've done them. Already reset these, but I haven't actually hard one. And I think that's most of the Odyssey stuff. There's some new trophy store items. Won't really go over those since I can't buy them all, but yeah, new player icons, got some new pets, Oban Ghost Wolf and Azalea Frog, which are pretty cool. We've got the top hats on balloons, which I showed before. Those cannot stack with the googly eyes. I don't know, in future, if people want to have something like that, we could make a trophy like that, you know? I mean, feel free to post suggestions. Things you think trophy items. But yeah. New co-op promotes, the crickets one. There's a fun one. Basically, yeah. Sound effect emote plays cricket. Right. New features. So I will actually create a co-op lobby. So if you're in a lobby now, you can actually change your hero.
Ready to fly.
So yeah, this has definitely been a largely requested feature because you don't know the split until you're in the actual lobby a lot of the time, so it's useful to kind of match make, and also you don't know what other heroes your teammates are gonna have. Good to be able to change it. Work all that out. And we also finally added fortification bands to the skinned versions of MOABs. It wasn't a bug; they weren't made. It was standard. It was a skin, so it was a non-fortified skin, but you know, kind of doesn't make sense. So yeah, they've been added. Now fortified bands at in MOAB. Jump. Sandbox game. I can show you that. There we go. Mauling MOABs with fortified band and top hat. How good is that? Bit weird there. They're in some of the corners. Aside from that, pretty good. And actually, so you don't need me anymore because you can view your patch notes here from the map. Although there's not as much detail there for sure. Definitely better to go on Reddit. It was so it's hard to really say just how big this is, but basically the game was split up, all the assets were split up into little bundles. The way that they load has changed. And you're not gonna know. there's no way for you to really tell. But basically, this is a big change, and you have to take my word on that.
The ocean's wrath is unfathomable.
I have Oban. That's a shame. But yeah, so that's a big deal, which will hopefully be more noticeable in future. But it's more of a behind-the-scenes thing. It will hopefully cut down memory leaks a bit, but the biggest thing it should hopefully do is make downloads smaller, because it should make it more. Well, it should make it easier for us to only download the stuff we need. Aside from that, Infernal was tweaked a bit. I will go into Infernal. I don't have meat. So you might not know if you don't play Infernal much, but basically, well, there were some requests here to modify the map slightly because it was only possible to actually clear the early game using. So the entire map we found was too low. The gap on the bottom and the gap on the top that was matched. So these tracks and everything, basically everything was shifted up a little. This island here was shifted down a little bit, close to the center, and this island here was moved up quite a lot. So like place a tower here now, tower here now. That kind of grazes those rocks, that kind of grazes over those rocks. They actually have kind of equal reach over the middle now, when they didn't before. The bottom one was much lower, and the top one was a bit higher, a little bit higher, like a couple pixels. So that's what happened there. It's probably hard to notice, but it's actually kind of big. So yeah. There was also crashed fixed which happened, well, the crash itself. So basically, there was a problem where if you beat a game the very last seconds and you either crashed or like quit to main menu before beating the last bloom, just as you beat it, you not get a medal there. That has been fixed, so you should get the medal in that situation. I don't particularly know if there's other situations in which you cannot get a medal, but this should hopefully stop that happening. If it doesn't, then it's a different situation. But definitely mention it from now on. If you ever get a case where you beat a game and you don't get the medal, bring it up, because it is a different situation and it will have to be addressed additionally. So lots of changes to the way the game saves. This affects a lot of things. There's currently a bug where, Oben, for example, if I can reset his cooldown, he's not actually placed well.
Yes.
So there's a bug currently. If you place his road items, I'm gonna turn this down. Why is that so? And then he levels up. It won't. It'll forget this when you game. That's a problem. But other issues, a lot of other issues with the save system were addressed in this update, and this is currently the only real problematic one that I've noticed. But yeah, to point out some of the other things, or one of the other ones that was definitely highly requested, the engineer's overclock is now actually able to save. It wasn't really supported by the last system, but these changes make it possible, and it happens, so it's good. This is definitely quite significant because overclock is a very long-lasting ability. So if you get a game save just as you use it, you're kind of screwed there, because save the ability no longer buffed, but you're still on cooldown. Oh, it used to be a bit of a problem. That is no longer a problem. Good stuff there. There was an issue, some people having problems buying trophy items. We've now made it so that when you purchase a trophy item, it immediately backs up to the server, creates a save saying that you've purchased that trophy item, so that should help with issues there. And it also came forward that there were issues with certain Insta Monkeys. So the issue here was specifically Insta Monkeys where basically the combination had two tiers at the same level. So do I have any? I don't. The Dart Monkey. I must have some. But yeah, basically most people didn't have some of these. It turned out, here we go, I've got 3 of this. So 022. Since they're both the same tier, that was not possible to drop before. The only way you could actually get this was from like a daily challenge. If a daily challenge had a custom reward set, basically that was the only way. Like random boxes couldn't randomly roll. So that was fixed. So this only affected tier 1s and 2s, like 022, 011, or 101, 202, etc. It only affected tier 1 and 2s. But that's been fixed now, so that should help you get some more of those rare tier 1 and tier 2 instas. So good luck with those. And there was also a bug fixed with if you for some reason collected an unknown power, a power that didn't exist, this was only possible with like a bugged powers that you get an infinite notification on this powers menu that's fixed, so you shouldn't get that anymore. And if for some reason you ever obtain this again, it should not appear there. Anyway, I have the notification because hopefully it stays gone. And I'll skim over some of the bug fixes. Most of these won't matter to most people, but let's see. There used to be an issue where if you started a new game over the top of an old save, it would stack up the stats in the summary screen, so you get like stats that you didn't actually do. There was some performance stuff in limiting effects. The in the loop map, which is one of my favorite maps, so keeping everyone in the loop. The trees are now bounceable objects for Juggernaut, so you know you're probably not going to be using Juggernauts much on this map, but if you do, they bounce off the trees now. There was some co-op improvements made to game start disconnects. This is not disconnecting in the game that was changed. This is specifically problems within when a hosted game has started and launches into the game state. So there was some problems there which have been resolved. There was a crash with double tapping the join button on entering like private lobbies or local lobbies. That's been fixed. Local lobby system has a refresh button now, and so more lobby issues. There was some disconnecting, reconnecting issues with specifically the lobbies, not playing in the co-op games. That has been fixed, so the lobby should be more stable. But there were some game issues being caused because of problems in the lobby, so you should technically see less game issues because of that. But to be clear, all the changes here are to do with the lobby system, entering lobbies, leaving lobbies, joining lobbies, and hitting the start, not specifically related to the gameplay. I don't know if the current daily challenge has it. Nope, it doesn't. Current dance challenge has it. No, it doesn't. Or does it? Wait, is that it? Monkey knows just it. There, we now have an icon to show if Insta Monkeys on round 100 is disabled, because some challenges just make it too easy to get to round 100 quickly, so we have to disable the Insta Monkey reward there. But before, there was no way of knowing. You just had to guess, like, if it's round 90 to 100, it's probably not going to be there, but, you know, who knows? Now there's a thing here displaying it for you. So, just a small quality of life thing there. If you aren't interested in going to 100 unless there's an Insta, you can know beforehand. There were some visual issues with Adora's Temple. The tutorial was counting as a game played, but not a game won. So everyone had one less win than they should, technically. That has now been fixed. So double tapping the events menu shouldn't open this twice anymore, and it didn't, so that seems good. Localization stuff, like always, we always fix the localization thing. Always be issues there. There was an issue with collection event bonus map being rerolled from playing custom challenges. That has been fixed. There was a Chromebook fix, fixing the touchpads so that they work the same as touchpads on Steam. So that should be hopefully a much preferred change for the users who play on Chromebooks. If you're one of those people, let us know if that's any better. Behind the scenes changes for assets. There was improvements for cache. Yeah, so this one's weird. There was a lot of cache problems, specifically like half cache was problematic, open was problematic. Some of these things you wouldn't normally notice, but they were causing issues behind the scenes, causing performance problems. They were not always saving correctly. A lot of issues like that. With the save system rework in addition to this, that should all be quite smooth now. Should hopefully work in all situations. Yeah. There was also height issues fixed with redeploying. For example, if you redeployed something from a low area, like on Peninsula, on top of a mountain, like up into the mountain, it would fall through the terrain. That's been fixed. It's been around for a while. It wasn't... I mean, majority of people don't use redeploy that much, so it wasn't too serious, but for the people who were reporting that constantly, it is hopefully fixed now. Yeah. Some conflict pop-ups, which would cause a softlock, have been fixed. There was some hero placement things fixed. So this was mainly caused by the monkey knowledge and powered heroes, start heroes level 3, that was causing a couple animations and voice lines to not play correctly. Now that we have custom animations in the trophy store, that's not on, so that was fixed. And the voice lines were also fixed. It should all be fixed. If you place a hero, even if it starts at level 3, it should play the correct animations. An issue causing T-posing on this screen with like boomerang and stuff, that was fixed. Some race-specific things. In a race at the moment? Yeah. I'm in top 70% farming those tier 1s. But, so you used to before, if you opened a profile, while you're sitting in a profile, it would constantly be scrolling down. So you'd open up and you'd be looking at the number 100 player, but that's been fixed. You can view people's profiles now. And if you didn't know you could do that, look, you can click people and view their profiles. So cool stuff. The race timer, we did some fixes here. It doesn't seem that they hit every angle, but still looking into that. So hopefully that can be completely future. And you see your rank here. So I don't know when this stopped, but apparently it stopped at some point. You stopped seeing your rank here if you were not in the top 100, but now it's back again, so there you go. Also, there was a change here that made it so if you're not in the top 100, you will see your rank here, and you'll see this leaderboard update less frequently. This isn't too noticeable. You might notice it if you're not in the top 100, and obviously it's not preferable, but this makes the whole thing a bit smoother across the board. So it should be an improvement overall. Onto tower specific bugs. Might jump into a thing for this. So you could get you could get a master double cross placed in challenges that blocked crossbow master because of that knowledge point. That has been fixed. There was a very strange issue which I only recently became aware of, where if you placed an Insta Monkey below the track, it wouldn't hit balloons above it until you upgraded any upgrade. That has been fixed. And embrittlement description has been updated to say yes, it detects balloons and it removes properties now, so it's nice to get descriptions updated sometimes. The 2XX sub-portrait was updated. Preemptive strike had its description downdated, apparently. Yep, it was changed. I know it has a spelling mistake, but hey, it's definitely changed. Carrier flagship, there was an issue where it would display the wrong damage pop in the summary screen. This was fixed. On geared, there was an issue where basically if the map turned while you were placing an ace or a heli on it, this would crash sometimes. If you were loading a save of an ace or a heli on it, this would crash sometimes. This should hopefully all be fixed now. Ground Zero also had a description update just to mention that the base bombs are stronger. Biggest one, just a description update there as well. Artillery battery, description update there as well. It actually does 4 times attack speed, not 3 times. So it shouldn't have ever said 3 times there. Phoenix, so bit of a weird issue. If the wizard was placed on an Arctic Wind platform, summoned a Phoenix, and the Phoenix moved off the Arctic Wind platform, it would sell the Phoenix. That's fixed. Prince of Darkness shouldn't anymore randomly display like buff icons over everything, so place some order now. No buff icon, good. It will show it over a wizard, but it won't show it when the was placed here. So you know that it's not applying to the base wizard. Yeah, once you get to the actual Necromancer unpopped armor, you do see it. Not a significant buff there, but you know, it's a buff icon, so you want it to be correct. Some art issues were fixed with the temple. This was kind of a big one. It's been problems for a while. There was a lot of behind the scenes temple stuff tweaked here. It hopefully fixed a lot of issues that were just minor and no one really knew about anyway. Including the specters sometimes showing gold instead of black. That should be fixed now. Back on my Reddit page. Where am I? Here we go, Super. So Alchemist, the lower tier brews, like the tier 3 Berserker brews, shouldn't like cancel out the higher tiers anymore. This wasn't particularly common that this was a serious issue, but it was possible if they were timed correctly that your Berserker brew could throw at the same time as another stronger stimulant next to it. The Berserker brew would land first, and the stimulant would land on top and be cancelled out. Now the stronger stimulant should always just apply over the top of the Berserker brew. Permanent brew should always just apply over the top. They always just replace lower. Druid of Wrath just had a bit of a description update, just to say as long as the druid is attacking rather than popping. Poplust had a description update to mention that it also increases the pierce. It has always increased the pierce, it just apparently never mentioned it. People only just started pointing that out. The salvage upgrade now gives correct amount of cash. That's not really, no one uses salvage anyway, but you know, that's something. Carpet of Spikes. So this upgrade always gave +1 damage to the spikes, but it was meant to give +2. I don't know why it was only giving +1. So it now gives +2 damage to the spikes. This doesn't really upgrade it to the point that many people probably asking for, but you know, we will see what happens there in the future. Plug that in. Sorry about that. Monkey Village. So your tier 4 Monkey City description updated there. Tier 5 Monkeyopolis, it no longer gets buffed by Alchemists, since Alchemist didn't really do anything for it aside from range. It was a bit annoying when it absorbed your buffs there. A bug was fixed with Sentry Paragon, causing an extra explosion if you sold it, and Balloon Trap just had some less cash displayed correctly issues fixed. Striker Jones co-op icon emote for Octa Jones has been fixed. An issue for both Oban and Brickell, where their level 20 ability would be downgraded to level 10 when loading a save, but like I mentioned before, there is an issue there where if your hero levels up after placing a road item, it will be forgotten. That's going to be worked on in future. And yeah, with that, Wall of Trees should give the correct cache also when reloading save, along with that save system. Benjamin had some weird things where you could combine a bunch of different cache multipliers and get negative cache, which was very funny, but kind of sucked, so that was fixed as well. Brickell had already fixed, similar to Oban, and Energizing Totem just had some UI things up, like, I don't know, it had like a little pointless eye thing there, which for Oban this brings this up, but for Energizing. And I will, at this point, split this video off and do another video later covering the balance changes. But that is all of the additions to the game and the bug fixes and such. You probably already know about these, but, you know, covering these and putting the patch notes in the description for anyone who wants to go over these in more detail. If you want to come in and view my video on the balance changes that happened, I will be doing that video shortly after this. So, yeah. Thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you around.